everyone, it's Liz again. This is the North Merrick Summer Cooking Class. This is my last one in this series, and today we're going to be using all fresh fruits and vegetables. And the first thing we're doing is called a plum caprese salad. And we're using today fresh tomatoes. Tomatoes are in season. They are coming and bigger and beautiful than ever, so make sure you use them. We also have plums in here. Plums have a very short season, as do tomatoes, but they're in season now and they're fresh and juicy and sweet. So I combine them in a salad, and the first thing you need to make is the dressing. It calls for a tablespoon of champagne vinegar, which I couldn't find, so I used Prosecco vinegar, which is just about the same thing. A teaspoon of white balsamic vinegar, kosher salt and pepper, olive oil, and of course the tomatoes. They said heirloom tomatoes, which I could have used, but these beef steaks were so beautiful I had to buy them. And just so you know, don't put your tomatoes into the refrigerator. It compromises their delicious flavor, and we only have them for such a short time that you really should try to benefit by the delicious flavor that they have. Anyway, I have mixed together here the vinegars and the oil and a little salt and pepper, and the vinaigrette is ready to go. This also calls for burrata cheese. I'm using the fresh mozzarella and basil, and I have arranged the tomatoes and plums on this platter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear the cheese. I take a big hunk of it here and just pull it apart and just sort of randomly put it around the platter. We love to have this. My husband and I enjoy having this kind of a salad during, especially this time of year. We love to have it all year round, but since the tomatoes are not as good, we only really have it in the summertime. So I'm just about finished with this. Oops, there goes a plum there. And I'm going to take the basil and I'm going to sprinkle it on top. The fresh basil goes so well with tomatoes. And I'm going to take the vinaigrette and just sort of drizzle it all over the salad. Take a little salt just to finish it up, and a few grinds of the pepper, and this salad is good to go. This is just great on these hot summer days, and we have had many recently. So let me give this a quick taste. I'll take a plum and a tomato, if I can get both in there. I can taste the different vinegars, the oil. Oh, I didn't take any of this delicious cheese. Nice, refreshing, and light. And I'm just going to bring these over to the side here. And we're going to move on to our next item. I'm just going to rinse my hands. Okay. The next thing we're doing is called the fresh peach turnover. Now, peaches have been fabulous this year. Juicy, sweet, and just really, really good to use in all kinds of applications. So I decided to try doing something like this, and here's what I came up with. So I have in here, I have some fresh peaches, which I've cut up. It has a mixture of sugar, and cornstarch, and also said to use the peach juice, which was to be released from the peaches themselves. But truthfully, I couldn't do that. So what I did was I took the cornstarch and I added it was called for 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. So I added 1 tablespoon of water. So it was equal parts to that. And I made what they call a slurry. And that guarantees that you won't have anything, a lumpy syrup. So you also can remember that for when you're doing like a gravy or something. So it's always equal parts of, when you're doing a gravy, fat to liquid. And I have here puff pastry, and I'm just making it a little thinner and a little bigger. And I'm gonna take you can use a knife, I'm using a pizza cutter, and just cut it into 4 squares. It's my spoon. So this has, like I said, it has sugar, corn syrup, cornstarch, and the peaches. So I'm going to take the peaches and just put them in the corner here. Now, I made this earlier, and what I found out was they didn't call for cooking the peaches, and it cooked for about just a few minutes, but I decided it was too liquidy, so I decided to cook it a little bit, which breaks it down and makes it hold together, I think, a little bit better. So I'm going to take this and, oh my gosh, I'm going to turn this around. I think, well, that's not going to work either. Okay, I'm going to take this one. I'm going to fold it over, and I'm going to press it down. And I'm going to press the ingredients inside also down so that when it puffs up, it holds close to the actual pastry. And see, we're making triangles here, like a turnover. You can do it in rectangles if you want, and you could probably make them smaller, but this is how I did it. And you take the fork and you just seal it. And you take the egg wash, which I was actually supposed to do first, but I didn't. And you just put it around here, and that kind of works like glue. So we just put it around the edges here. And then see, this one needs to be packed a little bit more. Then we take a knife and we just make some vents here so that it doesn't explode in the oven, because that is the last thing you do. You just pierce it a little bit and just have these little openings. So and after I use the fork, they're ready to go into the oven. Now I'm going to just put these aside. I already have some that I prepared earlier, like I said, and these were not as successful as I think these are here, but I'm sure they taste okay. So here are the other ones, and I'm going to try one right now. You can put some powdered sugar on them to dress them up a little bit. Take a knife. I'm just going to cut one little piece off. You can see inside, you can see the peaches. And again, the peaches have been delightful. They also, you can use nectarines and plums too. So let me taste this. Up close also, excuse me, pour some cinnamon and it's sugar, of course, is in here, and it's just delicious, sweet, flaky, really yummy. Okay, last but not least, certainly not least, is my watermelon lemonade slushie. I've been making this for the last few years, and it is a keeper. It is cubed watermelon, which is cubed and put in the freezer. Simple syrup, which is 1 part sugar, 1 part water, which you cook on the stove, and you can use that for iced tea or iced coffee, and it really is a very versatile thing to use. People put flavorings in it. Sometimes they put they put herbs in it, or mint and basil even. But anyway, this recipe is really just a favorite that we have here at my house. So